I'd like to welcome to the show from the Snake Season 1, Devonte. How are you doing today?
What up? What up? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Excited to chat with you. There's obviously a lot to kind of dissect, but before
hmm
we dive into the show, tell us a little bit about Devonte and who you are as a person. Obviously, that way we don't see on the show.
Yeah. So I'm born and raised south of Boston in a town called Taunton. I'm very close to my parents. They had me at a young age and they were 15. I grew up an athlete my whole life. Played football, basketball, baseball, and then through a twist of events was unable to play sports anymore. So I pivoted into things like speech and debate, really hit the books hard. And then after high school, went to Brown University where I studied economics and performing arts. And then from there, I was working in tech for a while. I moved to LA after college toward the end of COVID. And I've been in LA ever since for about 4 years now. And I picked up poker while, during COVID, while I was in college. My buddies would always play, and I would refuse to play. I'm like, you're not taking my money. But then it's COVID. So there's no one on campus, there's nothing to do. I was like, you know what? I'll learn to play. And instantly I was hooked. And so I would play here and there while I was in LA. And then I started realizing I was making good money. I was like, damn, like I'm taking the game seriously. I'm studying it like it's a job. And I kind of pivoted one day and I was like, if I can have the freedom to, make salary money playing poker, let me, give it a go. And so that's what I did. And for about 2 years, I was playing poker for a living. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I love playing
yeah,
poker, so please don't take my money
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Talk to me about how you got cast on the Snake.
Yeah, they had hit me up. I thought it was like a scam, but I guess years ago I had applied to The Bachelor and I was in their system as a poker player and they're like, yo, we're looking for a poker player for this reality TV show. And we have you in our system from, this other show you applied for. We'd love for you to apply. And really, um, between my application and them flying me out was like less than 2 months. Like it was a quick turnaround. And so yeah, I had a couple interviews. They liked me, and before I knew it, I was on a flight to Iguazu, Argentina.
Yeah, which is awesome, right? You know what I
Yeah, it was
mean?
nuts. It was like a whirlwind. I was like, well, I guess here we go.
What's kind of your strategy heading into the game?
Oof, my strategy going into it, I knew that I wanted to kind of have people all over the house that liked me. Um, I didn't know the structure of the game until, we had got there, but I've watched shows like this, and you just kind of want to have someone to have your back. So I knew I wanted to have like my core group, and then I wanted to have a few other people that I could rock with that, could save my ass in the event that my ass needs saving. And so that's pretty much what I did. I played the game hard. I really mostly everybody in the house I was friends with. I obviously made a couple enemies, but I felt like I played a good game. I just, confided in some people that I couldn't trust, and that bit me in the ass. So,
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's one of the interesting things about the show is obviously he's a poker player, you know what I mean? So you already kind of have a maybe a stigmatism around you, but thankfully everybody else in the house has that same kind of stigmatism because of their background. But were
hmm
you kind of worried about the idea of them being presented as a poker player? Because obviously the big idea of poker, you bluff, you lie, you
right.
make the faces, you have good facial expressions or anything like that. Did
hmm
that worry you at all?
It really didn't because I know that I'm a very sociable guy. I can get along with anybody. And I knew that once they got to know me, the whole poker player thing would just be like, a secondary identity of mine. I'm really good at talking to people. I'm not like, a quiet, shady guy. I knew I'd be able to make friends with people and also share more about myself. I'm not just a poker player. There's a lot of layers to me. And, there's a lot of things about me that they would learn and hopefully like and, respect. And I think that's ultimately what did, take that target off my back as a poker player initially.
For sure. You, Brett, Jack kind of made that pack early on. What was it about those guys?
Well, we kind of got stuck together. In the first episode, they kind of picked their team. I was with them, and then we were like, guys, we're the same age. We're like the bros. We clicked instantly. We're into the same stuff, and it felt like being with my buddies back home. We had so much in common, and I just got a good vibe from them off rip. So we kind of just meshed right away.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about the show is obviously towards the end of the episode, and we're not talking about this week's episode quite yet, but when you're sitting there and you're waiting for to be picked, right? You have the snake up there, you have this chain ladder, which is crazy to think about that it's all kind of by
hmm
chance in that moment. when you're
Hmm.
thinking about what's that feeling like as you're waiting to kind of hear your name, especially whenever there's scenarios where you or your team are kind of not in control of the scenario.
It's my heart's pumping through my chest the whole time. I mean, until you're standing up there, you're not comfortable. I don't care if Jack and Brett are up there and I know I'm getting picked. You just never know what someone might do. And until you're standing up there safe, you're stressing. At least I was. I never felt good until I was standing up on that platform. And so, the game is unique, like I said, because everybody has power for one moment once they're safe. It doesn't matter if everybody in the house hates you. If one person likes you and they're up there, you're safe. And that makes the game really unique and really nuanced. So I understood that going in. And yeah, man, until you're up there, you're scared for your life.
Yeah, talk to me about obviously the infamous scene of when you are in the ladder of being picked, and then of course you decide to veer off the quote unquote plan, which anybody that knows you or watching the show, like this was 1000% bound to happen, right?
Right. Yeah, like I mean, for a moment I wasn't sure if I was gonna not pick Derek. I had the idea of maybe backdooring Brett into safety and having someone else pick him, but I just didn't trust anybody else to save him. And I knew that I needed him in the house as an ally. He's a really strong player, and like for him to go home maybe wouldn't be awful for my game because he's such a strong player. But I knew that by me putting my neck out on the line for him, he would do anything. If he was a snake, I was safe. And having that really strong bond, I felt like was worth it to, sort of cause chaos. And it made for good TV to kind of get up there and be like, you know what, let's go to war.
Yeah.
Um, but like you said, like there was no way in hell I was gonna let Brett go home. Like the fact that they even offered that alliance and thought that that was a possibility, there was just 0%. Like, why would I just be like, oh yeah, you're the snake. Let me just send my closest ally home. No way, bro. Not happening.
Especially since in a game like this, there's strength in numbers, right? The more people you have, the more the
Hmm.
chain of the snake really trickles down to you. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
ruining that means you just put a target on your back next week whenever, you turn your back on Jack, you get rid of one of your allies, and then it's like on this
Yeah.
hope that maybe the person that's a snake right now is going to help you moving forward. Obviously, this
Yeah.
kind of turns into this week where we see Amanda not pick you. How shocked were you in that moment?
I wasn't that shocked when Amanda didn't pick me. Like, I thought there was a chance she would, and I needed that to happen because then I could save me and all the boys. That was like the best case scenario. But I never trusted Amanda. Like I said it 100 times. I'm like, I want to play this angle. Like, I got to know her well. Like we were friends first, but I think we both used flirting to try to get a leg up with one another. That's what you do. And plus, you're in the house all day. Like you want to, you flirt with somebody. Like it's fun. Like whatever. But I never ever truly trusted her. I knew I couldn't. She, the moment I told her, so the previous episode, I was like, yo, you can't pick Derek. And if you do, I'm coming for you. I mean, Derek was her closest ally. In episode 4, she didn't pick Derek. And I was like, damn, if she was going to switch on Derek that quickly because I told her to, then why would I trust her? I don't. But I had to try to work her in the event that this happened. Derek was a snake and I need her to pick me. And then she didn't. So I wasn't that shocked. What shocked me was that Catherine didn't pick me. And I knew I was screwed once she didn't. And, it sucked because I did trust her. Obviously, now I know that that was a horrible decision because she was the biggest liar, manipulator in the house. But that's the one person who I really did trust to my demise, obviously. Um, and yeah, I stuck my neck out for her time and time again. I went and defended her, not knowing that she was just lying, had me looking stupid. And here I am thinking that I'm in the right, and really I'm not because I'm being misinformed. And so it's like that, we time and time again picked her, and then she left me out to dry. So that one hurt. But Amanda, I never trusted her.
Yeah, what's it what's it kind of been like watching Catherine? Because to me, I've loved watching it as a person watching the show because you almost feel like she's almost a puppet master in some ways. And then the way she was able to spin the whole conversation in the last episode from it being the vocal point of, hey, you're playing both sides to like everybody else is arguing and forget that the whole reason it started was Catherine. Like, what's it been kind of like watching it back, A, as somebody as a victim of her web of lies, but also as a person just watching the show?
It's so frustrating. And like I've tried not to take it personally because it is a game, but like it's so frustrating. And like, it is a game, but like to a certain extent, like I just feel like, the way you play the game is at least somewhat representative of your character. I was loyal to the people who I said I got your back. I lied to the guys who I had no real allegiance to. Oh my God, I'm the devil. No, like I played an honorable game for the most part, and I don't know. I just felt like she was just kind of just out here lying. Maybe she wanted to be villainous to make for good TV, but I don't know. It pisses me off. We're cool, outside of the game, but I can't look at her the same after seeing all of the nasty things she said. Like, how could I?
Yeah, because like even in the moment when you're filming the show, right, you're like, all right, maybe there's an understanding of why she didn't pick me in this moment. I'm gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna be frustrated with it. But then you're watching it back and you're like, hold on, wait a minute. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's all
not.
it's all the it's all the remarks and all the comments and the jabs and the
Yeah,
it's like you don't want to hear that. You don't want to see that. And I get it, you're playing the game, so it's like, it is what it is, but obviously, you're gonna feel some type of way about it when you're watching it back. And I thought like, I know it's a game and like but there's certain people in the house who you think you're gonna be genuinely friends with. I treated her like a sister in the house. Like I literally looked out for her every moment I could have. And I do have friends outside of the game, me, Brett, Jack, Mac, we're really close. But I don't know how I could, arrive to that point with her, you know, the level that I was at in the house after seeing all the things she said during the game.
for sure. Obviously you're a highly competitive guy, but watching the show, you see that. Is there any other like reality TV shows that you would like to be on?
Oh, I'd love to do Big Brother Raiders. Like a- this, after having done this, I know what things I would change and I would cook on a show like Big Brother or Traders. Like I would, I would cook.
Yeah. I definitely that, and then the other one I think came to mind was the challenge too. I think he'd kill on the challenge too. I think
Yeah,
he's
the
good.
challenge is also a sick one. I'm not doing Fear Factor though. They hit me up and I was like, hell no.
That sounds
I
sounds
can't do
awful.
it. Like the height thing, like I'm so afraid of heights. Um, the bugs, like that. My friends are like, they know me. They're like, bro, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, me either. Like, I don't know how I went to a place in my brain that I was like, I was literally in war. Like I'm overseas fighting for my life right now. I had to go to that mental space because I hate all of those things.
Absolutely. Yeah, so final question to you. What's next for Devonte?
So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things going on right now. Acting is a big passion of mine. I think reality TV is still on the table. But I act, I do modeling, and I have an agent in LA where I'm kind of pursuing that path full time now that I've been on TV. My face has been out there, and yeah, I'm gonna see what opportunities arise. But I'm kind of gonna follow my dreams in that regard. I also make music, so I'm gonna hit that heavy, and of course, play some poker along the way.